Change begins within dinners for now 12 years. And the work of and the support of all of you over all these years has really transformed the foundation, and I think it's transforming the world's understanding about what meditation is and transforming lives. Are we live? Hello, I'd like to welcome everyone here this evening to this Change Begins Within benefit for the David Lynch Foundation to raise awareness and support for our veterans and veterans' families throughout the United States. This comes at a very troubling time for our veterans. The issue of post-traumatic stress is a problem that's not going away, and it's a crime. Aaron Grossman, earlier, a member of our board of directors, gave a quote that over 20% of the veterans who come back from Iraq and Afghanistan have been diagnosed with post-traumatic stress disorder. And today I read an article on another study, it was published by Reuters, that the number is far higher. The number of 20% came when veterans were being interviewed by people at the VA hospital. 20% of veterans admitted to suffering from symptoms of post-traumatic stress. A following study found that when the veterans were able to answer anonymously, that the number was actually closer to 30%. And now in this new study, interesting, when the veterans responded to a computer and they were able to admit the facts, 3/4, 75% of all veterans coming back from harm's way reported symptoms of post-traumatic stress. Now, there are many, many wise people employing many, many wonderful approaches to address the problem of post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not one single solution, obviously. However, a missing element, a missing ingredient, a missing strategy that we could employ, that every veteran could employ, we could help them employ, every veteran could employ, is an ancient, non-religious, non-philosophical technique that does one simple thing. It accesses the field of stillness, of silence, of equanimity that lies deep within every human being, independent of faith, age, nationality. You could be 100% skeptical. It matters not. It's there as concretely as our nose is there. Kind of a weird analogy. Go with it for now. So tonight we're going to be honoring two wise, resilient warriors with the David Lynch Foundation's Resilient Warrior Award. And we're going to be hearing from two not only brilliant actors, but great human beings. And then we're going to hear at the end of the evening a Skype message from David Lynch. But before I do that, I would like to welcome all of you who are connecting live by internet, webcast, in these 50 cities. And thank you very, very much for your support of our efforts to help veterans. And I should add, veterans' families. There's 5.5 million caregivers of veterans who suffer. PTSD is contagious. And our target is to make this available to any veteran and any family member and any caregiver who would like to learn to meditate. And we're going to do that with your support. We are also, we are connected to galas from Honolulu to Asheville, North Carolina, from Portland, Maine to Dallas, Texas. We're also connected to the amazing students and faculty members at Maharishi University of Management. Hi there. And I just wanted to let you know that the chairman of your board of directors, Jeffrey Abramson, is here, and he's celebrating his 65th birthday. So Jeffrey, would you stand up for a moment? And is Commissioner Sutton here? Okay, beautiful. To introduce Commissioner Sutton, please welcome member of our board of directors, Erin Grossman, who, by the way, is close. Her son, right there, Jack. Stand up, Jack. I taught him to meditate. Stand up. Stand up. He's a new meditator. Thank you. Okay.
Hi, Ace. Now it is my pleasure to introduce the Commissioner for New York City's Department of Veterans Services, Brigadier General Lori Sutton. She is also a doctor. Oh, you can come. She's also a doctor, but I'm not sure where that distinction fits in relative to Brigadier General and Commissioner. Lori is dedicated to using her firsthand experience treating trauma and witnessing resilience to improving the lives of over 210,000 veterans and their families living in New York City. We could not ask for a more qualified person to lead this charge for our city. Her final military post was as founding director of the Defense Centers of Excellence for Psychological Health and Traumatic Brain Injury. Prior to that posting, she commanded the Carl R. Darnell Army Medical Center at Fort Hood, Texas. And prior to her posting in Texas, she was the command surgeon for the multinational forces in Iraq. She served throughout the Middle East during the First Gulf War, and she is the recipient of a Bronze Star in addition to a number of other awards and honors in service to our country. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me with a very warm welcome to Commissioner Lori Sutton.
Well, thank you so much. It's really a joy to be with you all tonight. And I will say, during those 30 years almost that I was privileged to serve in uniform, I only thought I was blessed. I never could have imagined the opportunity to come here to New York and work with people like you on behalf of these 210,000 veterans and their loved ones. So when I came to New York, you may have guessed that I didn't come really from anywhere near New York. I got here as soon as I could, but I'm from a little town, Loma Linda, California. And Gary Trudeau, of all folks, Doonesbury, introduced me and my partner 7 years ago now, wife, Lori. And we are such New Yorkers now. You couldn't get us out of it if you tried. So one of the first folks I met here in New York was Ed Schloman, and I gotta say, every general needs a sergeant major. I got my sergeant major, and it's Ed Schloman. And it wasn't long before Ed introduced me to Bobby Roth, and I gotta tell you, coming into this position, doing what no other city has yet done. Some of you probably don't know that, but New York City, we are doing what no other city has yet done. We are standing up a city agency fully devoted to veterans, the needs and strengths of veterans and their family members. Yes. And so tonight, if I learned anything in the Army, I learned that you never get where you're going alone. And so tonight, I'd like to just introduce a couple of folks from our team. We've got Jamal Othman, who is our Assistant Commissioner for CE5. We got Dr. Darlene Brown-Williams, who's our Assistant Commissioner, Community Resilience and Whole Health. And we also have, where's Lisa Biate? Lisa Biate is somewhere here. Right here, Lisa. Lisa is in charge of Veterans Affairs for all of the 25 CUNY campuses. So let me just give you a quick little download. First of all, Bobby, I never had a brother, but Bobby Roth is now my brother. Thank you. He taught me TM. I have to confess, Bobby, I haven't used it every single day over the last 2 years, but every time that I have, and on some of the toughest days in this journey, it has reminded me once again of why this work matters. And so as we move forward, building this new agency and preparing to move the dial, to upend the existing narrative about veterans and their loved ones. Yes, we know about the struggles, as Bobby noted, but let's never forget the strengths. Let's lead with the strengths. Veterans, they vote more, they volunteer more, they're great neighbors, they're civic assets, and here in New York City, we consider our veterans and their families our leading natural renewable resource. And what's to be renewed? It's the commitment to and the capacity for ongoing service. So I'll just very quickly tell you that we've got 2 initiatives going on right now of importance for this evening for you to know about. We've got the Whole Health Core 4 model, Vets Thrive NYC. That's Dr. Brown Williams, who's leading this effort under the leadership of First Lady Chirlane McCray. Did you know that New York City is leading the way in the nation for mental health? Thrive NYC. Check it out if you haven't already. It's amazing, and you're going to hear even more about it. But this, yeah, it's okay. I only got 3 minutes. I don't have time for applause. Okay. But the Whole Health Core 4 model basically says that clinical treatment, think of a pyramid, clinical treatment is really important. I'm a psychiatrist, yes, I know that, I live for that. But it's not where health, hope, and healing starts for our warriors. And so what we're doing is we're building out the bottom 90% of that pyramid, and we're working to shift the front line of intervention from the clinic and the hospital, where only 50% of our veterans will go anyway, and we're moving that front line to the community. Culture, education, and the arts. Brian Dorries is bringing his Theater of War program to scale across New York City. Check it out if you haven't. Some of you know about it. C2, peer-to-peer connection. C3, holistic community services. And this is where we've identified the biggest gap. And we know that the second initiative I wanted you to know about is the Veterans on Campus campaign, which we just started in May, in which Lisa Biate and CUNY, and in New York City, if you ever find yourself where Columbia is working with NYU, is working with CUNY and Fordham and Pace, rowing in the same direction, you're doing something pretty amazing. And this Veterans on Campus is that. We have over 12,000 veterans who are using the GI Bill today in New York City, and we would love to bring TM to each of them. So let me just stop there and say, this is work worth doing. Thank you for your support, and let's just keep on marching. Thanks so much. God bless.
The name resilient warrior needs no definition or description. We now move into the second phase, so let's roll the video.
Norwich is a crucible of an institution. We're the oldest private military college in the country. And not only is it academic, it's like adding boot camp and military service on top of a very rigorous academic program. So a lot of stress. Our students are dealing with a lot of stress.
Going from high school to college at any school is going to be a stressful situation. You're trying to learn how to time manage and what study techniques work the best for you.
Each day seems shorter than the last. You got formations, you got to wear a certain uniform, people are yelling at you, and by the way, you have your homework.
We're seeing a generation of students coming to college who are less able to adapt and improvise and overcome adversity.
We know that students are more anxious. They're coming with more concerns and in some cases with less preparation.
They're looking for some way to handle this stress.
One day, I had a wonderful call from the daughter of one of my trustees who said, Rich, you need to find out what the David Lynch Foundation is doing about TM. And I said, what's TM? And she said, Transcendental Meditation. I said, really? So she sent me some articles, and I was reluctant, skeptical, but the more I learned, the more confident I became. We had our first session, and we decided we were going to try this. So we wrote to all the inbound rooks and their parents and said, we're going to do a trial, training for 30 and not training for the other 30. We put them in 2 separate platoons, and the reaction was dramatic.
I've seen it, improve my ability in wrestling. I've seen it improve my grades. I've seen it just make me more clear, more focused.
TM's just been the greatest tool that I've had for stress management and keeping clarity in my life. I used to feel very overwhelmed throughout the day. When I started TM, I started feeling more refreshed and more focused.
I think within 4 or 5 weeks, the kids who didn't get the training were complaining. Like the other guys had an advantage of them in class, and the other platoon wasn't getting yelled at as much, and they learned how to do things so much quicker, and they were so far ahead of the other platoons in what they were learning from a military point of view.
In about 1,200 hours flying helicopters when I was a youngster. This is before we had an aviation branch. A lot of stressful situations over the course of those years, and I wish I would have had the Transcendental Meditation tool then.
TM is all about being relaxed and being a better thinker, and doesn't require any drugs. You could do it at any time. You can be anywhere.
It's just part of a overall healthy lifestyle. I mean, you become physically fit, you work out, you take care of your body. You do Transcendental Meditation, it helps you take care of your mind. The powerful part of that is that it actually physiologically improves your brain function.
If I'm feeling cluttered and crowded with all of the different responsibilities I have, I do TM and suddenly, I know what I gotta do.
When I get a lot of things going on at once, I'll sit there for a while and I'll just think, oh my gosh, I have so much to do. I don't know where I'm gonna start. After I learned TM, I found myself in that situation, so I figured, okay, I'm gonna take 20 minutes, I'm gonna meditate, and after the 20 minutes, I felt like I was really able to concentrate on getting my work done and not just sitting there overwhelmed about it.
Some of our psych professors did some scholarly research about the impact it has on your neurons and the connectivity there, and your eye retinal tracking, which is very important to military people. Are we tracking the right target? And how does being settled and being more situationally aware improve that? And it does.
I think it was within 90 days that in every measurable functional area, the platoon that was trained in TM was outperforming the control platoon.
We found a significant difference. Things like depression, anxiety, stress, bad moods, all of that went down significantly. We also found that constructive thinking, behavioral coping, emotional coping, and resilience all went up significantly.
People here want to do stuff that works, and people see that TM is a tool that's making people more successful. So, it's just part of the culture here.
I think the fact that we can empower young men and women with a tool to enable them to handle stress before they get into stressful situations, I think that's a huge gift we give them as part of their overall education and becoming a man and a woman in our society.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Executive Vice President for the David Lynch Foundation, Freda Plesser.
Good evening. It is my great honor to present the first of this evening's 2017 Resilient Warrior Awards to Major General Stephen T. Rippey. On the surface, the idea of a relationship between meditation and the military may seem at odds, but in fact, the history of Transcendental Meditation reveals the opposite. TM has its roots in the ancient warrior classes, and for over 5,000 years, it has been called a warrior's meditation. And this actually does make perfect sense. Both the ancient warrior and the modern day warrior must personify qualities of equanimity, resilience, wakefulness, and strength. Achieving these qualities was the purpose of meditation in the past, and that is the purpose of TM today. These are also traits that personify Stephen Rippey. Now, I'm not going to lie. When this two-star Major General first told me I should call him Steve, I just couldn't do it. Before I met him, I had heard about his career and I'd been briefed. He has 29 years in the military, including senior positions at the Pentagon, more than 5 tours of duty in regions around the world, from the Republic of Korea to Kuwait to Germany. Steve is a recipient of the Defense Distinguished Service Medal, a graduate of the National War College, and an active trustee on the board of Norwich University. And these are just a few of his accomplishments. Yes, I was appropriately awed. But what I quickly learned was that even with all these amazing accomplishments, Steve is a warm, welcoming, and genuine soul who would quickly become my friend. When we asked General Rippey if he would be the strategic advisor for our newly established Center for Excellence in Military Health, he did not hesitate. Yes, he said, it would be an honor to do whatever he could to support the health and well-being of America's veterans. And what better way to do this, he felt, than to ensure that they are able to learn this simple meditation technique that promotes the essential qualities of equanimity, resilience, wakefulness, and strength. General Rippey, Steve, we're grateful that your lovely wife, Kate, encouraged you to learn TM 7 years ago, and that our paths crossed when the foundation opened its new offices on Capitol Hill in Washington, D.C. last year. You have been a godsend. You're a fierce and wise advocate for the mental and physical health of America's military and a guiding force for good in the world. Therefore, on behalf of the David Lynch Foundation, on behalf of all the cadets at Norwich University who have learned to meditate because of your support, and on behalf of military personnel, past, present, and future, whose lives will be forever changed by your leadership, we are deeply honored to present to you the 2017 Resilient Warrior Award. Please.
Thank you all very much. Thank you. Thank you very much. I want to especially thank Bob Roth and the David Lynch Foundation for all the work they are doing to improve the quality of life of people's lives, which seems more vital today than ever. And you can trust us, I promise you, to deliver what we say we're going to do for all of our veterans and their families. I'm really proud of Norwich University. I want to recognize Norwich for taking the bold step, and it was a pretty bold step in those days, of training which is now over 750 students over the last 6 years in TM. As a long-serving board member, I know personally the positive impact this has had on the students' ability to handle stress, and in simply improving their emotional and physical well-being, a powerful thing for 19 to 22-year-olds, and they're really proud of what they learn and do with Transcendental Meditation. And I can give you example after example of how it's improved their daily lives at Norwich and will going into the future. Finally, I want to thank Tom Hanks and Mary Louise Parker and all of you who are here tonight. Your very important support, which will enable us to vastly improve the daily lives of countless individuals in need, and we appreciate that. And I just ask you to be really generous tonight when their paddles come up and we have the auction. I'm deeply humbled and honored to be with all of you tonight. Thank you very much.
After 11 years in the Marine Corps and multiple tours overseas and really all over the world, I got out, and when I hung up the uniform, I kind of fell apart. traumas that I brought into the Marine Corps caught up. That led to a pretty detailed plan for suicide. I realized that that's not my birthright, and I need to try something different. So I called the executive director of Boulder Crest, and I said, I need this. I need the warrior path.
Don't focus on the arrow, keep the bow tilted a little bit, and find that anchor point.
Those principles, those honesty, the integrity that you talked about, all of those help me create the life I deserve.
During the warrior path, I was introduced to a variety of different modalities, and I'd say one of the most pivotal was the transcendental meditation that was provided through scholarships that were given to us by the David Lynch Foundation. And focusing on the 20 minutes twice a day of transcendental meditation, I now have the connection to self that I didn't have before. I know who I am, and because of that realization, I now find myself as a warrior path guide at Boulder Crest Retreat. And I get to walk with my brothers and sisters as they start their path. You know, one of the things that we did at Boulder Crest during the warrior path was archery, but I can't do archery on an airplane, you know, and I can't take a horse on an airplane or in a traffic jam, but I can use my TM on an airplane. I can meditate. I can use my mantra in traffic. So I think that's why the TM is so pivotal. You take it anywhere. It's literally the one you can take anywhere you go. I want to thank the David Lynch Foundation. Your generous gift of transcendental meditation has changed my life and the lives of my family forever.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage combat veteran and airborne ranger, the executive director of the Boulder Creek Crest Retreat, Virginia, Dusty Baxley.
Please stand, Paul. Let's be recognized. Senior Path Guide, Boulder Crest Retreat, Virginia. Thank you, David Lynch, Bob Roth, Fred Plesser, the board of David Lynch Foundation, and all of you that have come here tonight to be together for our combat veterans, our brothers and sisters. So I hope you've read the bios. They're pretty amazing, these two gentlemen. Let me tell you a story about someone I got to know. About 21 and a half years of service, and I think somewhere of 17 houses moving all over the world. EOD bomb tech, attention to detail, pretty good. Working with SEAL teams, Special Operations Forces, many missions. And then the man retires. AT Solutions, anti-terrorist solutions. And the company went from 5 to 500, training thousands all over the world to combat terrorism, literally of service to our world. He goes back to school. There came a time in our war where we went from mounted patrols to dismounted patrols. We began stepping on things. And his community, the EOD warriors, in a period of 12 months, 71 EOD techs became amputees. So about every 4 to 5 days, there was an EOD warrior arriving to the hospital there. There was nothing in place to be able to bring the families together with their service member there for long-time care. So Ken Fox steps up, EOD Warrior Foundation, raises the money for the families to be together. Unbelievable. And then he and Julia began hosting those families in their homes and looking after them. And he made a personal mission after looking after his community. And then Ken and Julia said, what more can we do? Let's step up. How can we be of service? So they donated 37 acres of their own property, substantial sum of money, put together an incredible board, and stood up Boulder Crest Retreat, our nation's first privately funded rural veteran and military wellness center dedicated to combat veterans and their families. It's astounding, the attention to detail. And he began with rest and reconnection stays. And then he said, what more can I do? Then he and Julia embarked on the hidden wounds of war. And on his own nickel, the only CEO that I know that doesn't take a penny and works off his own nickel and travels all over this country raising money. He began to look into PTSD. And he talked to the world's leaders about this. They had no answers. They said what they were doing was not working. So he began hosting the best of the best and the worst of the best programs at his retreat. And then he decided to start his own program. And now the nation has a leading edge program based on post-traumatic growth. Took a 30-year study and now applied post-traumatic growth. And we are healing our nation's heroes. Realizing that only 0.45% of our nation now puts on a uniform and stands in harm's way. We only make up 8% of the population. It's a pretty small group. But this man has stood up, he and his wife Julia, to do this together. And out of the one retreat, it was like, can we meet the demand? He said, no, let's double the demand. And at the end of November, he's going to stand up Boulder Crest Retreat, Arizona. Another facility. Got a $10 million gift to do that. So we can double our capacity to bring healing to our heroes. What more can we do? We can change the way mental health looks at post-traumatic stress because they approach it from a symptom-based approach of healing. So they medicate to mitigate those symptoms and leaves us with a diminished version of ourselves. And we say, no, we can do better, that we can grow from adversity. And now we have this fantastic thought leader that travels the country to change the way we look at mental health for our combat veterans. So we have this amazing human here tonight, along with his fabulous wife of almost 35 years, which is an anomaly in our community. Believe me. Julia Falk, would you please stand up and be recognized? So Ken Falk for us at Boulder Crest represents generosity, kindness, a life of service, and is a mentor and a man of deep humility and tireless in his efforts to bring healing to our brothers and sisters. Please welcome Ken Falk, recipient 2017 Resilient Warrior.
Don't believe it. Thank you guys for letting me be here. Dusty, thanks for those incredible words. I'm kind of a man of few words. I am on a mission. I think I'll agree with Dusty on that. I was a bomb disposal guy in the Navy, as Dusty said, for 21 years, and we call that EOD, and a lot of the jokes in the community are that it stands for everyone's divorce. So for Julia sitting behind me for 35 years, she says it's because I was deployed for half of my career. So. But I'm extremely honored for this award, not for my work, but for the work that my staff does on a daily basis, healing the men and women that benefit from Transcendental Meditation in Virginia, Boulder Crest Retreat. The cornerstone of our program, we have an 18-month program that starts with a 7-day initiation in Virginia, and now, as Dusty said, Arizona. The cornerstone of that 7-day program is Transcendental Meditation. And I've personally watched this technique save many, many lives. And somebody asked me a couple of weeks ago in an interview why and how it really has taken an impact on me. And I said, the main thing about it for me is when somebody comes up to me at the end of a program and just gives me a hug and says, "You saved my life." And that, to me, says everything about this technique. In 1989, I broke my back in a parachute accident. I was told initially, my wife was called, and the first call she received, I was in Puerto Rico, was that I was dead. 5 minutes later, she got a call that I was still alive. I was told by the doctors I would never walk. I went into physical therapy. I had a Navy corpsman who was about 6 weeks out of hospital corpsman school. She had no clue what to do. She literally gave me a pharmaceutical bottle of Motrin 800s. My stomach started to rot. And luckily, my dad had a little bit of money. I borrowed some from him. I was making about $600 a month at the time. And he said, go see a chiropractor. And I went and saw a chiropractor. And as many of you know, because you all get gray hair like I do, the chiropractic treatment in 1989 was witch doctory. And today it's mainstream. Every VA hospital, every military hospital has chiropractic care. And I attribute my healing to a lot of hard work on my own, but also to this chiropractic care, because the Navy was taking me down the wrong road. We've got this post-traumatic growth concept going. I literally got on an airplane, as Dusty said. I went to Harvard, the University of Chicago, the University of San Francisco, Palo Alto, Warrior Pathways Home out in Napa Valley. I went to the University of California, Los Angeles, University of Southern California. And every doctor I talked to said, what we're doing for veterans doesn't work. And I said, well, why do we do it? And they said, well, it's all we have. It's all that insurance will reimburse for. I said, well, that's not good enough for me. I come from a profession that when you make mistakes, they're lethal. And if they're not lethal, you lose limbs, you lose eyes, you get paralyzed. Something happens to you that's pretty significant. 8 months after I broke my back, I was on full active duty and got recruited to go to a SEAL team and support them for the first Gulf War. I remain amazed at how bad, with no disrespect if you're sitting in here, how bad the mental health community has handled this. 16 years, the longest war in our nation's history. We are still in the middle of it, and there's still not an answer. And I'm telling you, what we're doing with Warrior Path, the marriage of transcendental meditation with Warrior Path, is saving lives. And if there's one investment you can make for veterans, it's this. To all the TM instructors, Denny Goodman, Brian Reese, all of you that teach out at Boulder Crest Retreat, thank you. To Bob Roth, man, I've never met a guy with so much class in my life. I come from a family of coal miners and steel workers, and the class wasn't there. Bob, you are a man of class. Your staff is amazing, and I want to just thank you for recognizing our work. As most veterans, I still have a lot of friends on active duty, and the men and women at SEAL Team 6 flew a flag over their camp for Bob Roth in honor of the work he's done for veterans. We're going to present it, and Dusty's going to read you what's on this certificate.
Get the old man glasses on. This flag was flown by the men of Elite SEAL Team 6 over their camp in the Middle East. The certificate reads, "So that all shall be known, this flag was flown in the face of the enemy and bears witness to the removal of terrorist forces threatening the freedom of the United States of America and the world. It was flown with great pride and honor in remembrance of September 11th, 2001 for Boulder Crest." Thomas Paine, December 23, 1776. "These are the times that try men's souls. The summer soldier and the sunshine patriot will, in this crisis, shrink from the service of their country, but he that stands by it now deserves the love and thanks of man and woman. Tyranny, like hell, is not easily conquered, yet we have this consolation with us, that the harder the conflict, the more glorious the triumph. What we obtain too cheap, we esteem too lightly. It is dearness only that gives everything its value. Heaven knows how to put a proper price upon its goods, and it would be strange indeed if so celestial an article as freedom should not be highly rated."
I accept this award on behalf of all the teachers of Transcendental Meditation in the United States, all over the world, and in the United States, I also accept it on behalf of Dr. John Hagelin, who is the wise and wonderful Harvard-trained quantum physicist who's been guiding the TM organization in the US for many, many years. So thank you very much to both of our honorees. It's an absolute honor and pleasure to stand before you and be able to offer this back. So thank you very much. We're going to pivot now, and in just a moment, invite our two special guests to join us. It's going extremely well, don't you think, the whole thing? Yeah, these guys are just doing a great job. And while we wait, there's three, we are here because of all of your generosity, but I really want to thank, in particular, in addition to the Aaron Grossman, I'd like to thank Dan and Margaret Loeb. I'd like to thank Scott and Suna Maslin, and my dear friends Jack and Shirley Silver for your support tonight. So thank you very much. Mary Louise Parker is great. Mary Louise Parker is a Tony, Emmy, and Golden Globe winning actress and writer. I'm going to make this very short. She published her first book, Dear Mr. You, by Scribner, and was a San Francisco Chronicle Best Book of 2015. And Mr. Tom Hanks is an award-winning actor, producer, and director. He's one of only 2 actors in history to win back-to-back Best Actor Academy Awards. He's also the author of a new book of short stories entitled Uncommon Type. And in your gift bag tonight, this is not for you watching on television, you're going to receive a copy of Tom's book, Uncommon Type, an extraordinary book of short stories, and also a copy of Mary Louise Parker's Dear Mr. You. Would you please welcome Mary Louise Parker and Tom Hanks. Middle chair.
How are you?
Nice to see you, Tom. Nice to see you, Tom.
Thank you very much.
Your wife is singing at the Carlisle Cafe. And
She is singing at the Carlisle Cafe.
And you have a book coming out, and you're here.
Yes, all of my priorities are in order. I've abandoned my children, and I haven't seen my grandkids in months, but I am serving the machine nonetheless.
So I'm going to begin with Mary Louise. You have a connection with the veterans. Tell me the story there.
I do. Yeah, I had to leave the room when I heard this flag was flown because, I'm the daughter. My father was a veteran of 3 wars and of coal miners also, just so you know. And and both my brothers are retired military and my sister-in-law as well. But my father was, he suffered from severe PTSD, and there wasn't any language for it. It's not like I grew up thinking Dad has PTSD. But, he was an heroic man and an amazing man, and he would have loved this practice, and he would have practiced it. And my brother just started 2 weeks ago, and I'm just fully convinced that it saved him. And
what was his he's in the military?
He's retired military. He used to be a professor at West Point, and he said, he wrote to me, and I said, I heard you started meditating, and he said, I should have done this decades ago, and he sounds different. He sounds completely different already. My nephew's about to start, and my dad was in World War II, so it's. I have a different perspective on PTSD because when you said 75%, Are you okay?
Yes.
Oh, holy God.
got
Did
a-
I do that?
You did that. Nice
I feel
going.
I'm somehow responsible.
You not tell a nice story about meditation for crying out loud? No. Look
Holy
at that.
God.
How often does this happen to you? Exactly.
Well, do you want the truth?
Wow.
Okay, here, honey. Can we have some ice?
Hello, everyone out there.
This just means you have super good circulation.
Let's have
or
this
something.
standing by.
No, I'm good. Tom?
Wouldn't it be great if the blood was coming
Wait,
from his
can you
hands
lift your
instead
head
of his
back?
nose?
Your head's supposed to be back. Can you put your
Then he truly would be a mystical
Isn't
creature,
he supposed
would
to
he
have his
not?
head back?
Huh?
Aren't you supposed to put your head? You have grandchildren.
Is this like bizarre?
Right?
You should put your head back.
Right? Shouldn't you?
You know, can I just say that this has never happened to me at the Plaza Hotel in my life? It is
No,
some
Tom.
Has anybody here been at a gala and suddenly had a bloody nose bust out?
Tom.
Do you realize how one of a kind this is for all of us?
Tom.
Yes. All right.
But look how calm we are.
We are very calm.
We're so centered.
Wow.
My Lord, it's still
Holy
coming.
Jesus. Wait. Oh my God.
Tilt your head. Lay down.
Tom, you have to tell a story.
I will tell a
Tell-
story.
tell an anecdote.
Okay, you tell a story.
All right.
for me.
Carry on.
All right,
Yeah,
Tom.
by all means, let's change the subject. Pay no attention to the bloody nose on the podium,
You
ladies.
have to
and
keep your
gentlemen.
head back, right?
All right, stop. Tom Hanks,
That's
I have a point.
Yes.
Here's the point.
Yeah.
Go like
When
this.
I went to teach you to meditate.
Blood, I can't hear you. There's blood in
He
your
said,
nose.
when I went to teach you to meditate.
Oh, yes. Okay. All right.
What's the next part?
Yes.
You expected.
No. Back.
Yeah. I expect. I'll tell the story. You just recover from your wounds, Bob.
You have to keep your head back. I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
We're totally fine here.
I'm telling you, this is great. Is there a dentist in the house?
No, I'm going to do this.
All right.
You expected, when I showed up, you expected a guy in yoga pants and a hair bun.
I thought there would
Man
be.
bun.
I thought Bob would have one of those man buns.
What are those things called?
And I thought he would have like big kind of like Goldie Hawn pajama pants on.
And Dreamcatcher.
I thought he was going to have a dream catcher and wind chimes that he was going to hang up and say, I can't talk to you until the wind blows through. And instead, we started talking about the Oakland Raiders instead. Remember that?
I do.
Yeah, that's right. And
This
then
is
I punched him in the
He needs
snout.
to put his head back.
Just get back.
I know, but
just
can
go
we
back.
get him? Can
Just
you?
go back off the stage.
Yeah, but you need to put your head back.
Please tell me the camera is focusing on Bob's bloody nose. Because you folks are all, tomorrow what you're going to be saying is, guess what story you're going to be telling tomorrow? We went to this great thing at the Plaza Hotel and this bloody nose busted out on stage. How we doing?
Your head
Still
has to
going?
stay back. I'm sorry.
My, this is...
We're fine. We're totally fine.
Aren't
You guys, here.
No,
Aren't
you
you
guys-
secretly fascinated by
you guys
this?
talk to each other.
All right, all right.
There.
All right.
Head. Can
He's
you
gonna
get him
go
to put
off.
his head back?
Huh? He should put his head back and he should put some ice on the back of his neck or on the front of his neck. Sit down, young lady. I'm going to tell you. I'm
All
going to tell
right.
you.
You know,
how many people have been meditating for less than? Off he goes. I'm going to ask you some questions.
Okay.
How many people have been meditating for less than a year? All right, less than 2 years. I'm less than 3 years. How many people have been meditating for more than 5 years? 10 years?
Oh, it's all the people in
20
the
years.
nosebleed
Look at that.
section.
Holy
Sorry.
cow. All right. Oh, like you're going to fill in for Bob?
I do.
What is your name,
No, I think
sir?
that's actually like a magic marker.
Mario.
That's my
Mario,
kid's magic
nice to
marker.
meet you.
Hey, hi.
How are you?
Good. Who are you?
Do you not all secretly hope that
I just
Mario
taught your
gets a
brother
bloody
in
nose?
Washington,
What? You did not.
Wouldn't that just be an
Yes.
amazing thing that would
Totally
happen
just taught my
twice in a
brother.
row? I'm sorry.
Wait, what happened? He just taught my brother in Washington.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right, okay. Now let's put the bloody nose behind us.
Yes. He'll come running back up here any minute, believe me. He's a
Yeah.
recoverer.
Mhm.
Bob, what are you doing here tonight? Why are you here?
Other than first aid?
I mean...
Little triage.
I will fill time until
Yeah.
Bob can come
Yeah.
back. Here's how I was turned on to transcendental meditation.
Okay, this is
All
good.
right?
Go ahead.
I was backstage at a thing, and Jerry Seinfeld was in the dressing room. And Jerry, I had worked straight for about 6 years, and I was tired. And Jerry said, Tom, what have you been up to? And I said, well, quite frankly, I've been working a lot. I've been working straight for about 6 years. Oh, interesting. What are you going to do next? I said, well, quite frankly, Jerry, I'm not going to do anything. I'm exhausted, and I want to take a year off. Now, Jerry's a comedian. The idea of taking a year off is like, that's sacrilege. You don't take a year off. You're always going out and performing. And so Jerry said to me, a year off. How does that work? And I said, well, hopefully I sleep a lot and do nothing. He said, why are you so tired? I said, I worked myself in the puddle for 6 years. He said, don't you do TM? And I wasn't sure what he said. And I said, do you mean like transcendental meditation? He said, yeah. And I said, you mean like Goldie Hawn, spirit
It all
catcher,
comes back to Goldie Hawn and the pajama pants.
It's the balloony pants. I said, no, man. I said, everything I know everything I need to know about transcendental meditation from Love American Style. I'm not sure. No, you've got to try it. I've been doing it at the same moment. I'm going to arrange for you to learn TM. And he did. He sent Bob over to my house.
And you went. Oh, he came to your house, so you couldn't. You had to do it.
4 days in a row, 4 mornings in a row. And after the very first day I was doing it, it was so funny. I kept waiting for Bob to explain to me what TM was, and he never said what it was. So I kept saying, well, okay, then let's do the reverse. What isn't it? Did he do that? Did he do that? And he said, okay,
great,
if you go to a Catholic school, and in gym class they make you do jumping jacks, that does not mean jumping jacks is a Catholic exercise. And he said, transcendental meditation is not a religious exercise. It is, and he never really said what it was. But we sort of did it, and the one thing he said, I will now do the ritual, which was a very lovely ritual that honors all of the previous teachers. And we talked a little bit about, I guess, is it the Maharishi Yogi, who's, says...
Mia Farah told me a great story. Should I tell?
Let's hear this
cover the
bad boy.
nosebleed incident? I can tell that story. Mia told me that when she went with the Beatles to learn TM with the Maharishi, which is a great way to begin any sentence.
That's
when
a very
I went with the
bold-faced
Beatles,
name of learning.
her sister's name was Prudence.
Oof.
Dear Prudence, yeah.
All right.
Okay, so when she was there, she said that the Maharishi came around to give everyone their mantra, stopped and kneeled down to tell to Mia, and Mia sneezed, and she didn't hear it right at that moment. Mia was like, so she didn't hear, and then she said, excuse me, and the Maharishi went away, and he said, no, I can't repeat it. And she was like, but I sneezed. I don't know what I'm supposed to keep, I don't know how to meditate when you can't just like, could you mouth it? And it was like, no, there was only that one time. So I guess Mia just kind of sat in silence and I guess Prudence got hurt. Well, Prudence got a lot. Prudence got the song.
Substantial.
Prudence really made out.
Can you share a mantra with somebody? Or that's
no,
not allowed?
You're not supposed to tell.
Hey, easy, folks. All right.
Did you hear that?
Hey, man. Don't treat me like I gave you a bloody nose or something like that. You could just...
Illuminati confirmed. All the rumble over here was like,
it was like, geez.
My mantra.
Yeah, there was almost, a fist.
Yeah.
It's funny, a fist fight broke up at the Transcendental Meditation Gala at the Plaza Hotel. Well, what I have, hey, I'm a genius. I just learned that it works, and there's nothing more that you can. Today, I meditated twice, both times in the back of a car, and it got me through the day.
Yeah, it's irrefutable,
You can meditate
right?
anywhere. It's pretty great.
Yeah.
We're
just about to start a program for the District Attorneys of New York. The District Attorney learned, Cyrus Vance, Jr., and then he had his 3 most skeptical lawyers learn. I taught them. And throughout the entire course, one of the district attorneys just kept going.
You could make your way to the White House at some point?
Yeah. I just had the greatest meditation ever. I have been told that I meditated faster, better, deeper than any meditator on the planet.
Christmas!
And
Merry Christmas! No one else has meditated like this before. No other president.
But you, the big, what do you do when a skeptic comes towards you and says it either ain't working or it does?
Well, these lawyers were grilling me, and I finally just said, look, am I a hostile witness? Or, you don't have to treat me like this. It's simple. You don't have to understand anything. You don't, and you're enjoying it.
Absolutely.
It's a simple technique. It's an incredibly elegant genius of a technique, really, because how often in your life before have you let your mind go inward? How often? You can't remember.
I can't.
I think it's...
But you've given yourself a chance now through just a simple series of instructions to how to let your mind go
But you've been doing it
inward.
for 25 years or something like
I've been meditating that long, but I haven't...
Did you just hedge the answer to that? I've been meditating for 25
As opposed to...
Meditating. But 25 years, okay, you were 8 when you started meditating.
Well, I'm 53, so I've been meditating, thanks. Look, and I can move my forehead and everything.
Did you?
Shocking in my business.
Did you felt as though you really needed something in your life?
You should fucking see me if I don't meditate. It's unbelievable. It's not pretty. No, I didn't do... TM actually was kind of a brilliant way for me, because I had meditated, but I didn't have a system to it. But once I had children, I realized I was a single mother, and I didn't know how to fit that in with everything else. And it was, not only is it beginner friendly for someone who's never meditated, it was really beginner friendly for somebody who needed a second way back in, and I had a different understanding of meditation. And so it was, and it's really necessary for me. I mean, I'm not like a naturally appealing and friendly person like some.
You're not naturally loud and pushy.
I just feel like it helps me with restraint, and I feel most of all what it does is it makes me a better listener, which I feel like at my best and at our best, there is a heightened level of listening. I feel like people who, like my father, who was a soldier, who could listen while he was speaking. He could listen while he was talking to you. You know, when you're acting and you feel like everything is moving around you, but you're listening with your body. When I'm writing and I feel like I'm listening, to me, that is sort of a divine place, and I feel like that's what happens, and that's what you can learn through meditating. You're learning and you're observing.
Can you sense in the day when you say, "Oh, time to do it," or do you set a clock? I mean, do you try to do it at the same time every day?
Well, it's pretty obvious when I haven't done it, but I try really to sit up and get right into it as quickly as I can,
Really?
and sometimes the dog comes in sometimes my kids come in
fuck
during
up
it.
meditation.
They do. They come in during it, but my kids will meditate with me now. But it's sometimes I can feel my son especially will come in, and I can feel him pick up, because I have a timer on my phone. The app, look at the phone, and I feel like I can sense his dialogue with himself. Should I just sit with her for these she's only got 9 more minutes, and I as well just meditate with her. It'll make her so happy when I come out of her. She'll probably give me candy. I don't know. So I see this then I can feel the bed, and he sits, and it's just, I don't know. It's really sweet when you sit quietly with your kids like that, and it's so emotional to me, being the daughter of a soldier and the sister of soldiers. The idea of what this program is doing is almost
I'm late to the
difficult
program.
for me to touch on.
Are
But
there some vets that took it up and yeah, right over there, and pretty good stuff, right? Yeah. I'll translate for them. Don't worry, I can.
I took it up 2 years ago.
2 years.
2 years ago, and it's look at my life 2 years before meditation, and I see my life now.
When other vets say, "Have you talked to them about it?" What can you tell them hey man, got to give this a shot.
It takes a little bit convincing to get them going, but I guess it's that skeptic, like you said.
Yeah, there's Goldie Hawn pants. I don't even know if Goldie.
Pants, I don't think she even wears
I
those.
don't
Does
think-
she wear those?
Oh,
pants?
she wears the biggest pants I've ever seen. And I love her for it. She does it. Well, hey, thanks for sharing that. Hey, Bob's back, ladies and gentlemen.
I can honestly say I have never had
so
a bloody
dramatic.
nose except in
That was
5th grade when I got
amazing,
into a
right?
fight with John Spicer. Not
really?
Did
5th
you
grade.
hit him?
No, he started it.
But did you hit him back?
I tried.
Bob, do you think
Let's
meditation
start
had
over.
anything to do with your bloody nose?
No, I think
Excellent. That's what we all
it
wanna
was.
hear.
This is all right. Just very moving. I don't have anything to do with this, but the whole evening has been incredibly moving. Now, I don't think it has anything to do with my bloody. I think it was just nature playing a joke on me out there. But very, very moving, and loved the laughter from back there. So it was probably good I left.
Well,
because
your
you-
bloody nose was hilarious.
So, do you have any final comments, Mary Louise and Tom, about meditation?
I will say that I don't know if you haven't been doing it long. I found that my day, I crumbled in the day between 3 o'clock in the afternoon and 7. I mean, I was no good for anything. I couldn't read. I couldn't talk on the phone. I couldn't do any work. It was really an unproductive 4 hours. And now with meditation, it is the most productive hours of my day.
Is that when you do the second one or
That's
the first
when I do
one?
the second one. I'll do the second one about somewhere between 2:30 and 4.
And you do the first one when
I
you
do the
wake
first
up?
one 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there.
And your son started.
I now have I got a whole coterie of people that meditate, and it's astounding because I said, look, just go for 4 mornings in a row and tell me what you think. And I would say half a dozen people, 3 members of my family just said, where's this been? And skeptics galore, And a lot of people said, okay, I'll give it a shot, but I don't know why.
One of the great things about talking with Tom, I think, in addition to you thinking that I was going to have yoga pants, was the fact I grew up in the Bay Area, and we got to talk, 49ers and
Oakland
Ken
Raiders.
Stabler and Oakland Raiders and the whole thing. And you sold peanuts or something, didn't you, at the Coliseum?
Yeah, I was a vendor at Oakland A's games until I was robbed so often that it became a money-losing enterprise for me. That was a different era. It was the 70s,
Really
Thank
appreciate you
you.
both. Very, very grateful that you came here. And I hope when we edit this video, there's a camera just on me. So thank
I'm
you.
going to tell you right now, everybody's want to get this video, this footage of you. Thank you so much, Bob. Actually, nothing could have been more fascinating.
I know.
Yeah, it was great.
That was amazing.
Hey, thank you.
Amazing.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Thank you so much. How should we leave?
Right here. Here, I'll walk you down. Really great.
I'd make jokes about the red velvet cake that's for dessert, but we're not going to.
At least it wasn't broadcast all over the world, that's. Is that terrible? Is it just?
No, not at all. Are you okay?
Yeah, great. No, I'm like complete. I don't know what happened. I think nature just smiled. Did I ruin the? Okay, final stages. That
No.
I'm I would like to take a moment before I get another bloody nose, the right side. That was great, what I heard of the interview. Tim Ryan, Congressman Tim Ryan, is a great man. He has served as a member of the U.S. Congress representing Ohio's 13th district for, I believe, 16 years? 15 years, and currently serves as the co-chair of the Congressional Military Mental Health Caucus and co-chair of the Congressional Addiction, Treatment, and Recovery Caucus, and is a member of the Bipartisan Task Force to Combat the Heroin Epidemic. Through these partnerships, Congressman Ryan has introduced, co-sponsored, and championed bipartisan legislation to address the epidemic of PTSD among veterans and to combat the national opioid crisis. He has been a very, very good friend of the David Lynch Foundation and of Transcendental Meditation. Asked Tim to just say a few words before we move into the final phase of this evening. So welcome, Congressman Ryan.
We got to give a round of applause to Bob Roth. Jesus. I mean, you know, in politics, you're used to the physical combat of politics and the bloody noses. But when you're in the meditation business, Bob, that's above and beyond the call of duty. It's hard to follow all of the stories and the awards. And General, Ken, you guys are absolutely amazing with the work that you're doing. And I sit on the Appropriations Committee and do a lot of work with veterans. And I want to thank everybody in this room for being here, because the support that you're giving to the David Lynch Foundation is absolutely essential. We have about 22 veterans a day that are taking their own lives because of the post-traumatic stress issue in the country. And this has been going on for years, and it's absolutely unacceptable. And I've been working with the David Lynch Foundation. We had Paul actually testify before the House Veteran Affairs Committee and talk about how TM has helped him save his own life. And so I feel like my role is to bring all of the research that you're going to continue to help fund and the case that you're going to continue to build and bring that to the United States Congress so we can get the Veterans Affairs Department and other institutions around the country to offer this to every single vet that may need it, if these complementary approaches can help, which they can and which they do. And we talk about budget deficits in the long run and talk about the difference between something you can take with you throughout your life, as Tom Hanks just said, and as Paul said in his video, and you can use, and do the math on that, and then do the math on giving a veteran 10 or 12 prescription drugs to take for decades to come. This saves us money, it's good for the taxpayer, it's good for the vet. And we appreciate your help. And I just want to say one last thing. And Bob, I'm going to take some liberties here just for a minute. And if you mess with me, you're going to get another bloody nose. No. Congressman came to the Plaza Hotel and threatened a meditation teacher. I don't even know if that's abnormal in today's environment. Like, I won't even make headlines with that stuff. That's nothing. I want to say one last thing about the interior work that TM offers people, vets and others, and school kids. The interior work that needs to happen that helps us physically. We have so many challenges in this country. We have 3 billion people in the next 2 years that are aspiring to the middle class around the globe. They're going to consume about 300% more than they're consuming now. We have global climate change going up 6 degrees Celsius in the next 70 years. We have a heroin epidemic, and now we have half the country that has either diabetes or pre-diabetes. We rank in the high 20s or 30s in math and science. The challenges, 22 suicides a day for veterans, the challenges are great. And what these techniques do, and what this technique does, is it helps us heal our bodies, but I think it can also help us as a society heal the body politic, which needs healed right now. And so you're participating in an exercise that will provide an enormous benefit to our veterans, but it's also an example for the rest of us, as these vets always do. They show us the way. They show us about courage and resiliency and all the rest. And if they can find a way to heal themselves, we certainly, as citizens of the country, can find a way to heal ourselves as well and to heal the body politic so we can snap out of this rut we are in as a country. And wouldn't you know, the vets, once again, are going to lead the way. Thank you so much.
We're going to close because we really do need your help. There's been 3 phases. David Lynch Foundation 1.0 was when we started 12 and a half years ago, and no one wanted to say the word meditation. The last DLF 2.0 started when Freda Plesser and Raji Kalra joined the David Lynch Foundation, brought us to a new level where we have now demonstrated proof of concept. We've incubated the ideas. We know this works. We know it transforms lives of veterans. We know it transforms whole schools. And now it needs to be made available to anyone and everyone who wants it. It's an antidote that shouldn't just stay here in this room, in this city. It should be everywhere. And for that, it's just a matter of research. That's it. We've been told by many people in the VA. We just did a $2.5 million study funded by the Department of Defense on post-traumatic stress and veterans. And it was compared with something called prolonged exposure, which is the gold standard of treatment. And transcendental meditation was found to be more effective, less costly than prolonged exposure. But it's 200, and now we need to do 1,000. That's called a phase 3 clinical trial. We do that, we can leverage that, it can be made available, reimbursable by the VA, and we can change lives. So tonight, I bled for it. No. I got to use it for something. I bled. Please welcome Lucas Hunt of Hunt Auctioneers. He's a great guy, a meditator, in just a few minutes, and let's raise the funds to make this happen in New York.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's come to the part of the program you've all been waiting for, the live auction. If we may have the house lights up and the stage lights down, and will you grab your paddles, because there's nothing an auctioneer loves more than a paddle held in the air, bidding high, especially for a great cause like this. I want to see some paddles waving around. Spotlights on the stage down, please, so I can see out. There's one right there. Sir, you know how to bid. Thank you. If you don't have a paddle, you can wave your hand, but I think you were registered a paddle when you came in. Hold them up. Let's see the paddles. Let's see the paddles. There's one, thank you. There's one, thank you, thank you, thank you. Backlights down, please, so I can see the paddles. There they are on the back. I like that spirit over there. This guy's got like 2, one in each hand, doing air traffic control. Paddles, everybody. Thank you for the lights. This boy's ready to bid right there. Who else has got a paddle? All right, let's do it. We've got 3 auction items for you. They're going to go quickly. Listen up. Our first item this evening happens to be a rejuvenating TM retreat weekend at the Mayflower Grace. You and 3 of your friends will enjoy an incredibly relaxing, rejuvenating, memorable weekend. A meditation retreat at the Mayflower, exclusive spa, exquisite location, award-winning country retreat located in Washington, Connecticut. Who's going to join you? Mr. Bob Roth is going to join you, as well as Mario, Mr. Mario Orsatti, who got up here and stood in for Bob. Mario's incredible. You'll enjoy deep meditations, incredible discussions, scrumptious food, and I think on this retreat at the Mayflower, it's not going to be the TM Puritans. You're going to have a little fun, too. You're going to have a good time. So once again, you and 3 friends away on a meditation TM retreat, tune up or get tuned in if you haven't practiced TM yet. Perfect opportunity. I can start the bidding off at just $500. Is that a bid, sir? Or are you just pumping it up? Back in the back? He's not in. $500 opening bid. Looking for a $500. There we are right there. $750, $1,000. Do I see $1,250, madam, right there? Now $1,500 over here. $1,500 barehanded. Yes. Animalistic. $1,500 now. $1,750 is a new high bid. Do I hear $2,000 bidder over here. $2,000 back there. $2,000 there. $2,500, sir. Now $2,750 to you. $3,000, sir. That's a quick slip bid. Now 3. There you are. $3,250. $3,500 to the barehander. There we are. $3,750. $4,000 now. $4,000 there. $4,250, madam. Looking for $4,500. How about $4,750? $5,000. $5 now. $5,500 where? $5,500 there. 6, sir? $6,000 back to you. 6 it is over there. This table's tenacious. $6,000 over there. How about 65? 6,500? Yes, sir. You just outbid yourself. I love that passion. That's a passionate bidder right there. Every auctioneer's dream. $6,500 to the gentleman who's on top twice. Do I hear $7,000 in the room? Looking for $7,000, sir. Thank you very much. Now back to you, sir. $7,500. Show that zeal off again. $7,500 now. $8,000. New fire in the room. Just jumping in. $8,500 over there. Now 9. Would you bid 9? I bid $8,500 over here. Now 9. One more time. One more time. 9 it is. Thank you very much. $9,500 back there, sir. One more time in there. This side of the room, 1 in. $9,500 over there. $10,000 to you, sir. Would you do it for TM? $10,000 it is. Thank you very much. 10.5, sir. One more time back here. $10,500. Yes. Thank you very much. Asking for 11 over there, sir. Would you bid 11,000? 11 it is. 12. 12, 13, little ping pong, 13, your volley, 14 back to you, sir, 15 back to you, sir, 15 over here, I've got 14 there, asking for 15, he just outbid you 15 right there, 16, 15 over there looking for 16, I have 15 here, 16, anyone in the room want in at $16,000, we're going to sell it at 15 if we don't hear 16, would you still be in at 14, your last bid? Would you still bid at 14, your last bid? Yes? Okay, we're going to sell it twice at 14. Move on to the next one, once, twice. Thank you very much, sir. $14,000 there. May I see your paddle, sir? Very generous of you. Paddle number 235 at 14,000, 189 at 14,000. 235 and 189 at 14,000. Thank you very much. Our next item, one of a kind. Mr. Tom Hanks has donated a typewriter. Imagine typing your own notes, your own letters, your own stories. Imagine making a splash in the literary world, making it big on your own typewriter. You'll be up all night typing sleepless on this Royal Fiesta 3 typewriter signed by Tom Hanks himself. It's from his personal collection. He's an avid collector. He's been known to say, the truth is, no good typewriter is ever going to be made again. And he's right, because they only made them once and they only made them well. The typewriter is fully functional, includes a case, and of course it's signed by Mr. Tom Hanks himself. One of a kind, his passion tonight. If you haven't read his book, Uncommon Type, his short stories are incredible. He is as good of an actor as he is a writer. The truth. Who wants to bid on this typewriter? Starting bid, $500. Paddles in the air. $500 over there, now $750 where? $750 in the back. Oh yeah, $1,000 now, $1,250 now, $1,500, sir. On top, $2,000, sir. $2,000 over there, $2,500 now to you. $3,000 bid over there, $3,500 now, $4,000, sir. $3,500 on top right there, looking for the $4,000 bid. Over here, madam, thank you very much for lighting up this side of the room. $4,000, looking for $4,500. $4,500 now, $5,000 one more time. You want to bid again? You can do it. Yeah, do it. It feels good. Giving is good. No? 5,000 there. Sir, you're on top at 4,500. I'll take that. 4,500. 5,000. You want to be dominant? Okay. 5,000 it is. You're on top. Do we hear 5,500? This gentleman right here is on top. 5,000. 5,500. Young man, you're on top now. Congratulations, sir. 5,500 asking for $6,000 where? You want to be back in? Looking for $6,000. 6,000 over there. 6,500 where? I have 6,000. The gentleman right here who has been bidding religiously. 6,000. 6,500. He's a young writer. I can see it in his eyes. He's got poems in his heart. The heart of a millionaire. $7,000, sir? Yes, it is. Now $7,500? It's only money. Tell him it's only money. $7,500, and it goes to the great cause. 8,000? 8,500? One more time. 85? 9? How about 10? We're going to make a leap. 10 it is. Woo. 11. 11. Do we hear 12? Anyone else want in? There's only one of these. Do we hear 12,000? I have you, sir, on top at 11, looking for a $12,000 bidder. Anyone else? $12,000. Tom Hanks, personally signed typewriter. You can still jump in, but I have a good, mean bid of 11,000 right there. Looking for 12. Fair warning at 11. Do we hear 12 one more time? Have a think. I'll take 11 and a half if you want to advance. 11,500? No. 11,000 once, 11,000 twice, and selling. Tom Hanks typewriter. Thank you very much, sir. May I see your paddle? May I see that paddle? 108. 108 at $11,000. 108 at $11,000. Our final item, thank you for your attention, your attendance, and your liberal bidding, most of all. Item 3, an exclusive book launch event with Jerry Seinfeld and Hugh Jackman. You and a friend will attend the exclusive launch of Bob's new book. Bob is an author as well. Bob, you wrote an incredible book called Strength in Stillness, The Power of TM. A round of applause for that. I think that's brilliant. The launch is on February 6th at 2018, February 6th at Joe's Pub in New York. You'll mix and mingle. It's VIP invite guests only. Invite guests only. And you get a photo op with Jerry Seinfeld, Hugh Jackman, and Bob Roth. They're all starring in a film called TM Men, The Last Stand-Up. Yeah, it's going to be great. But you will get your photo taken with them all. And once again, you and a friend, exclusive events, the invites only happening tonight. They donated tickets, $500 opening bid, our last item of the auction. $500 opening bidder, there. $750, where's my $1,000 bidder? $1,000 in the back now, $1,250, $1,500 where? $1,500 over there, thank you very much, sir. Do I hear two? $1,500 over there, do I hear two? I'll take $1,750. $1,500 right there, looking for $1,750, thank you very much, sir. Do I hear $2,000 now? I have $1,750 there, one more time, sir. $2,000? $2,000 bidders over here. $2,000, madam, thank you very much. You're on top. $2,000. $2,250 where? $2,000 here. $2,250 on this side of the room. This man's just throwing his paddle down. It's like auction is done. I'm not bidding anymore. $2,000 over there. $2,250 where? $2,250 where? Thank you very much, sir. $2,250. Did I mention you get your photo? $2,500. You're back in. The money's fresh again. Woo! $2,500 now, $2,750, sir. $2,750 over there. Would you bid $3,000, madam? You get your picture taken with Jerry Seinfeld and Hugh Jackman and Bob Roth. $3,000. $2,750. You're on top. Looking for a $3,000 bid. $3,000 over there. Thank you. $3,250, madam. New fire in the room. Thank you very much. $3,250. How about $3,500? $3,500 for this exclusive experience. $3,500, young man. You're now on top. You're winning the auction. How does it feel? Good? Feels good to give. $3,500 now, $3,750, madam. Would you be in one more time? $3,750 now, $4,000. $4,000 it is. $4,250? Yes, $4,500. $4,750. $4,750, $5,000. Yes, exuberance. Young bidders should be at the auction more often. $5,000 there, $5,250. $5,500. We're gonna make a leap. $6,000. $6,500. $7,000 it is. Anyone else want in on this? There's no friends at an auction when it gets like this. $6,500, $7,000. Ooh, back in over there. $7,000 taking that. Now $7,500 to you. Getting that? $7,500 back up there. $8,000, madam. $8,000, yes. $8,500, sir. Now $9,000. $9,000. Anyone? $9,000. $9,000 it is. Is that was kind of a bid that was taken down? Okay. I was like, no, he's been playing with the paddle long enough. I have $8,500 right there. Looking for $9,000. $8,500 there. Would you be back in at $8,000? Do you want to go see it? We're going to sell it twice once again, and the auction's going to be over. Thank you very much. $8,000 to 108. May I see your paddle? $8,000 to 108 and $8,000 to 150. Bob's going to come back up right now and introduce you to some very talented teachers.
He's good. Yeah. Final part is these are all the teachers that people in the past have salaried, an army of teachers to go in, and there's more, but just here tonight, to go into the schools to teach Transcendental Meditation to kids. And now we need an army of more teachers to teach this to veterans. So any veteran who wants to learn to meditate can learn for free. So these are there's actually more, but you can see how wonderful these teachers are. And they are teachers of Transcendental Meditation. So thank you very, very much for your service. Great. And now I'd like to ask Lucas to come up. Just so you know, the evening is not going to go on forever. We're going to raise salaries to pay for veterans who are teachers of Transcendental Meditation. Many veterans who are teachers of Transcendental Meditation to go to the Brooklyn VA, the Manhattan VA, to go with Iraq Afghanistan Veterans Association, to go with the Vietnam Veterans Association and teach veterans. So this is my last request, and then it's going to conclude with a Skype brief message from David Lynch. He's waiting patiently. So Lucas, if you could come back up, and then you guys could sit down. Thank you very much.
Where are you going? Check. One of these there you go. You can have your mic back. So we don't have anything left to sell, but we do have a need to fulfill. What we're trying to do is sponsor as many teachers tonight as possible, as many TM teachers to help all our veterans, help them heal, help women and children as well who need it, help also kids in disadvantaged areas and at-risk youth. So we're going to try to fund as many teachers as possible. My teacher was just up here. Shout out to Raisa. I've learned so much from these people. If you've gone through TM, you know what it's like to have a teacher there. You can come in, check in, they help you. They work tirelessly. They travel all over the city and all over the world. They're really peaceful soldiers, warriors of serenity. So we're going to ask the house lights up again, stage lights down. This is a reverse auction. It's a direct appeal to you to try to raise as much money as we can in about 5 minutes to sponsor as many teachers as possible. And then we're going to hear from David someone. I didn't hear the last name on that. But we're going to start at a high level and work our way down. That's the reverse auction. Again, it goes very quickly. Our first level of giving, those paddles, all you got to do is raise it up. Don't think, bring it from the heart. Again, it's only money, and it changes lives. Our first level of giving is at $50,000. It pays the entire salary of one specially trained TM teacher, full-time. They can then go on to teach hundreds of veterans in New York and around the world. This is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Is there anyone that can find it in the kindness of their heart to donate at the $50,000 level? Madam, at 206. Thank you very much. 206. Thank you very much. Just raise it up. Just feel it. Just feel it. She's wearing a red dress, which always helps at an auction. Just power color. $50,000 level. Anyone else at this level of giving? Just going to say it again once more. It sponsors an entire salary, an entire year of one of our teachers who work so hard. You can make the gift now, $50,000 before we drop down to our next level. It's going to be $25,000, and $25,000 is going to pay for half that year. Thank you very much, 205. Thank you very much, $25,000. Very generous. Thank you so much. 108. Thank you very much, 108 at $25,000. Thank you, sir. There's another teacher. That's 2 teachers right there. We're shooting for 5 teachers. That's 2. $25,000 gifts. Raise your hand. Raise your paddle. Raise anything. Raise someone else's hand with their paddle forcefully. We'll work that out afterwards. Anybody at the $25,000 level before we drop down to our next level? Our next level of giving is going to be $10,000. $10,000 again. This pays for 1% of that, 20% of that year-round salary. Thank you. We got some good hands here. 266, 146, 207, 128. $10,000 gifts. Let's keep it rolling. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One more, and we got a teacher. Who's feeling it? One more. We just did 4. Can we get one more 10? That's a teacher. Who's feeling the love? Who's inspired? Someone's getting itchy. Get that paddle. I know it. One more at $10,000 before we drop down to our next level. Anyone at 10,000? Yes, madam. Barehanding it. Yes, thank you very much. Right here to the lady up front. Thank you so much. And you're going to go above, sir, or is that just cheers? Is that just a cheers, or was that actually you're together? Oh, okay, 278. 278. They worked hand in hand. Complimentary. We just did another teacher. Thank you all. That was brilliant. That was brilliant. $5,000 is our next level. Again, it pays for 1% of that 10% of a teacher's salary. Is this your level of giving? Can you do this now? $468, thank you, sir. $472, thank you, madam. $231, thank you, sir. $155, thank you, sir. $254, thank you as well, sir. Let's see this side of the room. Match that. Come on, this side of the room. Let's go, stage right. We can do this. $10,000 givers over here. $10,000 givers. Raise them up. Raise them up. Anyone at this level that wants in? 134, thank you so much. 134, we're at 5, right? I just jumped it back up. 134 at $5,000, thank you so much. $5,000 level, sorry. Auctioneer School teaches you always to go up, up. $5,000 is our current level. Who else is at the $5,000 level before we drop down? Thank you again for those very generous gifts. Next level is going to be $1,000. $1,000, again, helps pay the salary. 156, thank you very much. 284, thank you very much. 275, 290, 292, 287, 243, 192, 475, 104, 106, 137, yes, very generous. 269, 259, 213, 107. Madam, thank you. 136, thank you as well. 220, very generous. Wow. 233, 116, very kind. Thank you, thank you. 464, thank you for holding that up. Thank you very much. 464. Anyone else at 1,000? 2 more levels, $500. Is this your level? It goes towards our teachers. Our teachers are our life blood, Bob. $500. $500 at 247, 287, 211, 453. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. 457, 185, 186, 260. Thank you very much. $500 gifts at 455. Thank you, madam. I feel that. Very lovely. 281. Thank you, sir. Anyone else at $500? $500? Yes, 232. Thank you, sir. I love the smile on that. There's a kiss moment there, I think, that was just about to happen. Thank you so much for that. $500, 230. Oh, wait, was that someone else's? We scratching that out? 461. Scratch 230. 461 is the correct paddle on that generous $500 gift. Anyone else at 500? 212. Thank you very much, madam. 212. Anyone else at 500? Last level of giving. We're shooting for 100% participation. We want you to feel the love tonight. We want you to feel it, and everybody to go away knowing what it's like to help contribute. How many hands can we get at 100 paddles? I'm going to lead this off. Auctioneer starting at 100. Who else? Join me on this one. 145, sir. Thank you very much. This is our level, everybody. If you're a guest, thank you very much, madam. Bare hand right here. We have someone coming up. They'll get your number. 149, 195, 218. 467, yes, I love this. Your neckwear is superb. 255, yeah, you. Yeah, 251, 157, 240, 208, 188, 103, 287, 109, 230. Thank you so much, young man. 454 in the front. Thank you so much. $100 gifts. 145. This is it. 236, 259, 139. Bare hand. Yes. 115. Partnership. Okay. Anybody else at $100 level? 158. Thank you very much, madam. We're getting there. Anybody else at $100? 459. Thank you very much, madam, too. $100 gifts. Going once, anyone? Hey, yeah, keep it alive. 114 in the back. Thank you very much. 114. Anyone else at $100? Going once. Anyone else at 100? Thank you much. Going twice. We're going to close it out around 286, sir. Woo, surprise. That wasn't yours, was it? There's like no, that was someone else's seat. Yeah, don't worry about it. All right. Thank you all so much. A round of applause for you. Congratulations. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Wow, are you guys generous tonight? Thank you. On behalf of the David Lynch Foundation, the board of directors, the staff, the Plaza Hotel, we cannot thank you all enough for tonight. I mean, we couldn't have asked for a better, more important evening, and we hope that you will continue to join the David Lynch Foundation in our efforts in serving the most at-risk populations. Dessert will be served outside in the lobby after the final presentation, and I'm going to turn it over to Bob to close out our evening. Thank you.
So good. Check to see if you have blood on you. Yeah. David Lynch who I think is connected, started this foundation. David, are you there? He's in Los Angeles. Started this foundation on July 21st, 2005. He's traveled around the world several times, made a film, Meditation, Creativity, Peace, wrote a best-selling book, Catching the Big Fish, does innumerable press interviews, and is a great inspiration to all of us. He also finished an 18-hour movie, Twin Peaks Return. And David, we are honored to have you with us via Skype. And it's been 12 and a half years. You remember those beginning days when we didn't even know what a 501c3 was. David and John Hagel and myself said we should start a foundation so we could bring this to kids, at-risk kids, anywhere in America and then anywhere in the world. And David said, fine. I said, well, can we name it the David Lynch Foundation? And I don't really think David thought much was going to come of it, so he said, fine. And I said, I'd like to write a press release and send that out. And he said, fine. And then, like within 3 days, it was in the newspapers all over the world. And I think one of our first discussions was, well, what's a 501c3? And that was 12 and a half years ago, and the foundation has grown enormously. And all the success and everything that you've heard tonight, really, and I mean this, David, you've been the core of the foundation. You've been the guiding light of the foundation. We're very, very grateful for. He's not just a person who just put his name to something. He's really, I'll say it, bled for the foundation. So David, your thoughts looking back at 12 and a half years?
Well, Bobby, I think you're fantastic. And I'm sorry you got a nosebleed. And Mario from South Philly, you are also fantastic.
Mario, great.
And I want to thank Mary Louise Parker and Tom Hanks and Congressman Tim Ryan. You did a great talk tonight, a very important talk tonight. Thank you very much. And I want to thank all of you for being at this event tonight and for supporting the David Lynch Foundation. And let's stick together after tonight and get this so beautiful, profound, powerful blessing of a technique to the people. And after tonight, especially to the vets, let's end their torment and suffering and get TM to them ASAP. Thank you all very, very, very much.
Thank you, David. Really great. And we do. I don't know what else to ask. Yeah, another
There's nothing more to say, Bobby.
Okay, good. All right. Thank you, David. Yeah. So, one last nice piece of news. A gift from the David Lynch Foundation back to all of you. Those of you who do not practice Transcendental Meditation yet, on your way out, you can pick up a card which will give you TM instruction for free as a gift, so you can have this experience and really transform your lives. Please only take a card if you're not meditating and not to pass on. And so on your way out, you can pick up a gift bag that has Tom's, I understand Tom was quite funny. Yeah, I know, that was, Tom's book, Mary Louise's book, and also a DVD of a concert we did with Paul McCartney and Ringo and others back in 2009. There's so many people I want to thank. I'm not going to thank them individually. Thank you all very much. An extraordinary evening. I think our best yet. Really great. Have a great evening. Thank you.